So I just finished reading it. Give some reasons why each particular man is thought to be a useful additional to the conspiracy. The first guy, Cicero, he's very old, he's very wise. We can tell that because they said his gray hairs. And they think we are youthful and people might think us foolish, but if he joins us, people might think us, like, they'll forget about our youthfulness and our foolishness. They'll remember his wiseness. But then Brutus says he doesn't say this, I'm saying, he is much too willful. Brutus says he will not follow us because he didn't think of this himself. He will not follow us no matter what. He's too smart. He's too willful. The other reason, Ligarius, I really hope I'm saying that right. Ligarius loves Brutus. He is a good friend of Brutus, and he's, I think, younger. But he hates Caesar because Ligarius was speaking well of Pompey and was not happy that Caesar killed Pompey. And Caesar obviously didn't like that. He berated him and was like, no. So Brutus, and he's a good friend of Brutus, so Brutus was like, yes, Brutus loved me, let's do this. And what does Brutus's reaction to each man reveal about Brutus's leadership abilities? This doesn't actually show very good leadership abilities, I'd say, because he doesn't want to have Cicero in their group because he believes that Cicero is too willful, maybe too wise, too smart, and he is in some ways probably above them. Brutus doesn't want anybody above him. Because obviously, if they're older, they're going to be, like, smarter than you, wiser. Their advice is going to be taken over you. And that might even, I'm just saying might. That could be, like, maybe the people will want him to be the leader, not me. So he wants somebody who is younger, somebody who loves him, somebody who will listen to him, instead of somebody wiser and older. So this does not actually personally, I think, show very good leadership abilities for Brutus. In Act 1, Cassius establishes his credibility in order to persuade Brutus to listen to what he has to say. In Act 2, Brutus is thinking about ways to convince the public of the conspiracy's rightness. Beginning at Act 2, Scene 1, line 261, Portia would like to convince Brutus that she is worthy of knowing what lies beneath his troubled exterior. How does she establish her own ethos so that Brutus will confide in her? First, let's define ethos. Ethos is the distinguishing character, sentiment, moral nature, or guiding beliefs of a person, group, or institution. So she is saying, like, there's, like, paragraphs of her talking, monologues of her talking. And she is his wife, she is very smart, she loves him, she listens to him, she has always been there for him, and he should tell her what is troubling. She establishes her own character by saying, I think that she is smart. She comes from a very rich and prominent family. She is not some peasant that will not understand what he is doing, or what he is talking about, or what he is worried about. She comes from a rich and prominent family and has married a rich and prominent person. She has a fantastic education, knows multiple languages, and always is good with the gods. So she will understand what he is doing. She's like, I am not some simple-minded peasant and fool. You can tell me. And that is how she establishes that. And Brutus is like, wow, I am so lucky. I will tell you, don't worry, later. And he says this because there's somebody at the door right now. And then he has to leave, and then he doesn't tell her. So it's like, we'll see if he can tell her later. Caesar asks the priests to prepare a sacrifice and read the entrails for good or bad signs. What is significant about this request, and how does he treat the information? This is Scene 2, Act 2, 5 through 6. Go bid the priests to present the sacrifice and bring me their opinions of success. This is significant because his wife had been up all night and had kept, like, waking up screaming, they're gonna kill Caesar, or they're stabbing him or killing him or whatever. They murder Caesar, Yeah, that's what she kept waking up saying. And so he's like, here, go send some sacrifices, see if this is going to be true. And then he kind of treats the information that he finds. He's like, at first, his wife, he's like, no, what am I? Like, I am very strong, I am wise, I do not fear the people, I do not fear this. They love me, I'm fine, I will be fine. And she's like, please don't go. And he's like, what? The people will see me a coward if I stay home. And she's like, no, they'll see me a coward, just stay for me. And then he agrees. And then Brutus comes in and strikes his pride a bit in subtle ways and gets him to leave. So Caesar is a very, very prideful person, and Brutus knows he can count on that to manipulate Caesar in a way. Read Act 2, Scene 2, lines 10 through 12. Caesar shall forth the things that threaten me, never looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished. Oh, yeah. Who is speaking? Caesar is speaking, and he's talking to Calphurnia. So he's saying, he is very prideful. He's like, I shall go forth. I shall walk down the streets. And when the things that threaten me see me, they shall run away. They shall see my back. They shall not see my face. I will walk straight past them. They will look at my back, and they will run away. Because I am Caesar. I am great. And nobody can best me. That's basically what he's saying to Calphurnia when Calphurnia, his wife, is worried for him to leave. When they see the face of Caesar, they are vanished, he says. They see my face and they will run away because they're scared. That's basically what he's saying. Caesar. So, question 9, we're almost there. And we, like friends, will straightway go together, Brutus. Aside, that every like is not the same, O Caesar, the heart of Brutus earns to think upon. Okay, so what's the significance here? What's happening here? And we, like friends, will go together, Brutus, that every like is not the same, O Caesar, the heart of Brutus earns to think upon. What's happening here is Caesar thinks he is surrounded by friends, those that love him and will fight for him, be with him. But Brutus, that every like is not the same. Aside, O Caesar, the heart of Brutus earns to think upon. Perhaps earns to think upon. Brutus might feel a little guilty right now. He's like, oh, Caesar thinks me a friend, I'm about to kill him. That every like is not the same. But he's also like, it's not that every like is not the same. What you think is not the same as what is true right now. You're deceived, you're surrounded by enemies. Question 10. Using the dramatis personae from part 3 of the book, refresh your memory of Artemidorus and read the footnotes 4 through 5 at the bottom. Next, reread Artemidorus' letter in Act 2, Scene 3, lines 1. What makes this letter so unusual? So, part 3 of this book is Caesar, beware of Brutus, take heed of Cassius, come not near Casca, have an eye to Cinna, trust not Trebonius, mark well Metellus Cimber, Decius Brutus loves thee not. Thou hast wronged Caius Ligarius, there is but one mind in all these men, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou beest not immortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. The mighty gods defend thee. Thy lover, Artemidorus. And Artemidorus says, here will I stand till Caesar pass along, and as a suitor will I give him this. My heart laments that virtue cannot live out of the teeth of emulation. If thou read this, O Caesar, thou mayest live. If not, the fates with traitors do contrive. So, what is Artemidorus? Who is he? Let's read the footnotes. He is a sophist of Cnidos. Page 3. Okay. Who the heck is Artemidorus? I'm like trying to find it. There's no way. Okay. Artemidorus is... Oh, page 3. I see now. Cnidus, an ancient city in Asia Minor. Teacher of rhetoric and philosophy. And he is a teacher. So Artemidorus is a teacher. And what makes his letter so unusual? That he addresses it as a lover to Caesar, and that... He signs his name, though. That's what makes it unusual. He addresses it as a lover and then signs his name. And his letter is... If he's a teacher of rhetoric, his letter is quite straightforward. And it names everybody. How would Artemidorus know everybody, too? No, that is in the conspiracy unless he was part of the conspiracy himself. That is quite interesting and unusual. I guess we shall see. I'm actually going to have to look that up. Thank you for listening. If you got this far, you probably didn't. And I have a lot to think about.